our book page.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I am trying to open your book. It has to do with the book version. I have another one. Okay. This is what you have. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, but I've already prepared. No, let's go on with this slide, yes? Please, you just write the vocabulary, yes? Exercise 1, that is the vocabulary. That is what is important for us right now. Here you have some pictures about people, well, doing some survival, or yes, so survival activities. I want you to match the expressions with the pictures, okay? Let's see. What about giving first aid? What is it? What does it mean to give first aid?
When someone is hurt, um, the first attention that it has.
Okay, well, first attention, yes, okay. Okay, when somebody is injured, okay, injured, that's the word, injured. Don't know how to write it for you. Injured, yes. Then what about building a shelter? Building a shelter.
You can see the girl with the leaves that is make she's making a kind of house.
Okay, she's making a kind of shelter, okay? Yes, a cottage, a kind of
Cottage.
cottage. Well, thank you. What about fishing with your bare hands? What is it to fish with your bare hands? Do you know any equipment to fish or not?
The hands is not an equipment, isn't it?
Well, you don't need any equipment to fish with your bare hands, okay? That is the idea.
Okay.
You have the skill, okay, to fish with your bare hands.
Skill?
The
Okay.
skill, that is the ability, okay?
Okay. And how do you say caña de pescar?
Fishing line, maybe? Fishing line.
Line.
Mhm.
Okay.
What about lighting a fire? Do you know how to light a fire without a match, any match?
You can do it with sticks, with dry sticks and rocks.
Some rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, with what? With sticks?
Dry sticks
With dry sticks. What is that?
con palos secos.
No, try to explain in English.
Ah,
Don't
okay.
use Spanish. I know what you mean, but I want you to explain it in English,
Ah,
yeah?
sorry. I understand that you wanted the
Okay.
translation.
So
If you
you can
move,
do a fire with dead sticks. Hello.
yes,
Okay.
if, if
Okay.
you if you move, and I don't know how to say frotar,
Okay.
but
No, I don't know.
you have to move a stick with the other and make friction. That way
Uh-huh.
you can uh, make a no. It's very difficult to explain. Chispa
Spark, okay, that is the
and
word, spark.
spark, and you can make a fire.
Okay,
But you will
well,
need brushes, dry
okay,
brushes also.
okay. So the key word is friction here.
Yes.
Have you
And
ever,
we can with the sun too,
sorry,
maybe,
with the sun and a loop?
and a loop.
Mhm. Okay. Do you have any of these skills?
No,
No? Have you ever made fire without matches or a lighter?
no.
No? Okay.
I made that and it's true.
What did you
Are,
use?
are
Sticks?
you an scout, Lucas?
No, I don't have any title, but I did a lot of outdoor activities. I liked
Okay,
that so much.
good. But how did you do it? With a loop, with sticks, with rocks?
Sticks and
With...
dry brushes.
Is it true that it is really difficult to make fires with two sticks?
Yes, it's very difficult.
Very difficult.
It's practice. You need to practice and experience
Uh-huh.
the
You need
correct
the
And
stick.
movement.
desperation,
Maybe that helps a
maybe.
lot when you are desperate. That
It's a
helps a
very
lot.
difficult technique.
Okay.
You need help from someone else that had done that. It's very
Who
difficult to try by yourself.
taught you? Who taught you? Lucas.
Huh?
Who taught you how to make fire with two sticks?
While I was traveling around Peru in a
Mm-hmm.
trekking called Salcantay,
Mm-hmm.
was a tour guide.
Okay. So he taught you how to make fire with two sticks.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you. What about building a raft? Building a raft.
It is the
It's built
same
like
like
a boat or
boat.
a
Yeah.
ship. Ship.
It is like no, it isn't like a ship.
No,
It
of course.
is like maybe a canoe
Boat,
or a
canoe.
boat. Yes.
A
So it
ba-
is something that can float. Okay, something that floats.
Yeah.
For example, in a river or in a lake. Okay. The key word here is to float. Be able to float. Yes. Okay, I think you have exercise two. Listen and answer the questions. What the things do the student have to do? Do you have that exercise? Maybe you
What?
do. Exercise two. Do you have
no,
it?
no,
No,
Not
we
Oh,
have
in
not.
exercise 2.
but
okay. Well,
Exercise
we can
3.
write.
okay. Well, maybe we're going to do this listening. You're going to listen to two students talking about an activity from the book or from the exam, and you have to answer this question. What two things do the student have to do? Okay, so listen and write your answers in your book anywhere. Okay.
Unit 4. Speaking Focus. Activity 2.
I'd like you to talk together for about 3 minutes. I'd like you to imagine that you are going on an expedition to a desert island. Here are some survival skills you might need on the island. First, discuss how difficult it would be to learn these survival skills. Then decide which one would be the most useful on the island. Okay?
Okay, so what do the students have to do?
They have to discuss which skill is the most important or useful in the
Mhm.
island.
Okay, to survive,
To
yes,
survive in the ice.
but I think we have to talk about I which is the most important, maybe?
The most useful.
The most useful, yes.
Yes.
And the most useful, and okay, which would be which would be necessary, okay, to survive. Now, let's do exercise 3. Listen and complete the expressions the student used to ranking in their discussion, okay? Don't you have this exercise?
No.
No. Okay, well,
No.
listen and write your answers anywhere, okay?
Okay.
Unit 4. Speaking focus. Activity 3.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Shall we talk about how useful each skill is?
Yes, okay. For me, the least useful thing is fishing with your bare hands. I think this would be incredibly hard, and it would also take up a lot of time.
That's true. You could spend ages trying to catch a fish and end up with nothing. I think that's the last thing I'd want to learn.
Another reason for putting this at the bottom of the list is that it's not a useful skill when you leave the island, because everyone uses a fishing rod to catch fish.
So basically, we're saying it isn't useful at all. And don't you think it could also be dangerous? There are many fish that could bite your hand. And if you're not familiar with the type of fish in the area, you could end up hurting yourself quite seriously.
That's a good point.
Listen again.
Unit 4. Speaking focus. Activity 3.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Shall we talk about how useful each skill is?
Yes, okay. For me, the least useful thing is fishing with your bare hands. I think this would be incredibly hard, and it would also take up a lot of time.
That's true. You could spend ages trying to catch a fish and end up with nothing. I think that's the last thing I'd want to learn.
Another reason for putting this at the bottom of the list is that it's not a useful skill when you leave the island, because everyone uses a fishing rod to catch fish.
So basically, we're saying it isn't useful at all. And don't you think it could also be dangerous? There are many fish that could bite your hand. And if you're not familiar with the type of fish in the area, you could end up hurting yourself quite seriously.
That's a good point.
Okay, could you do it?
Yes.
Not all.
Not at all.
The last one I couldn't because I was writing the third one.
Okay. Listen again, yes, please.
Okay.
Unit 4. Speaking focus. Activity 2.
I'd like you to talk together for about 3 minutes. I'd like you...
Unit 4. Speaking focus. Activity 3.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Shall we talk about how useful each skill is?
Yes, okay. For me, the least useful thing is fishing with your bare hands. I think this would be incredibly hard, and it would also take up a lot of time.
That's true. You could spend ages trying to catch a fish and end up with nothing. I think that's the last thing I'd want to learn.
Another
Yeah.
reason for putting it at the bottom of the list is that it's not a useful skill when you leave the island, because everyone uses a fishing rod to catch fish.
So basically, we're saying it isn't useful at all. And don't you think it could also be dangerous? There are many fish that could bite your hand. And if you're not familiar with the type of fish in the area, you could end up hurting yourself quite seriously.
That's a good point.
Okay, let's see. So for me, number one, what does he
The
Number
last
say?
one is for
useful.
me the last useful,
The
the
last,
least.
The least.
the least useful thing. Okay,
Thing.
the least
Yeah.
useful thing is
Thing.
fishing with your bare hands. Okay, the least useful. Okay, the less important thing, the least. And number two, I think,
The last thing
The
I
last
want to
thing.
learn.
yeah, the last last thing I want to learn. The last thing. Another reason for putting this,
At the bottom of the list.
yes, at the bottom of the list is that it's not a useful skill when you leave the island because everyone uses a fishing rod to catch fish. Do you see here fishing rod? Can you see?
Fishing
Fishing
rod.
rod?
Fishing
No.
Yes.
rod, okay, that is another way that you use to refer to a caño de pescar, yes, a fishing rod.
Okay.
Fishing rod or a fishing line, that's the very same. So basically, we're saying
It is useful at all.
it isn't,
It
okay?
is
Isn't
useful.
useful
It
at
is,
all.
okay, it isn't useful at all, okay? Good, well done. Do you want to write the whole dialogue there
Do
or
you
not?
want?
Well, no, I think I can make a screen to this and then you have, no, then you're going to have the presentation on I upload it on the
Unit 4.
okay. Grammar focus, okay? We have to do a short revision on the past simple, past continuous, and past perfect, okay? These are the three topics that we were learning that we learned last class, yes? Maria Jose, can you start reading, please?
Wait a minute, please.
Okay.
Okay. Grammar focus. The past simple is used for action which happened immediately one after the other in the past.
Okay.
When,
For example?
when, what?
For example?
For example, when Jim came home, they watched a film on TV. Jim came home and then they watched a film together.
Okay, yes. Remember this action. The past simple is used to talk about actions, finished and completed actions in the past. Okay.
Okay.
And here is a special use that is to refer to actions that happen one after the other in a sequence, okay? So Jim came home, they watched a film on TV, or for example, yesterday I got up and I had a shower, then I had breakfast. That is a list of things, okay? An action after another action, okay? That is the past simple. Remember that with the past simple, we also need to state the time when it happened. In this case, I say yes, no, I don't have a time here. For example, if I say in 1990, in 95, I was born. I am setting the time, okay? In 2015, an earthquake took place, okay? For example, there I have the exact time when an action happened. That is the past simple for completed, finished, and unfinished actions in a stated time in the past. Also for two or more actions in a sequence. What about the past continuous, Lucas? Can you read it?
Yes. The past continuous is used for a past action which was in progress with another action interrupt it.
Okay, great. Can you read
Example,
the example?
when Jim came home, Mary was watching a film on TV. She was still watching the film when Jim came, I don't know,
Oh,
home,
okay.
her, is the
Okay.
microphone there.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, the past continuous is used to describe actions in progress, actions, ongoing actions that were developing in the past. Here is also important the time we need to set the time. And we don't know when the action started nor when it finished. Okay, so I can say yesterday at 9 he was working. Okay, I don't know what time he started working and I don't know what time he finished doing it. So the action was in progress. And here we have a special use where I combined the past simple with the past continuous, and there I have an action that interrupts another action. Remember that to identify which action is in past continuous, we need to pay attention to which action is longer than the other action. Okay, for example, in this case, when Jim came home, Mary was watching a film. How much time does it take to Mary watch a film? 10 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, but how much time does it take Jim to come home? Just 1 second. He opens the door and he enters. So here I can see that the longer action that Mary was watching a film is in past continuous, while the shorter one, Jim came home, is in past simple. Remember that. And what about the past perfect? Silvana, is Silvana there or not?
Yes, hello.
Hello, good morning. Can you read it?
Yes, the past perfect is used for an action which happened before another past action or a specific time in the past. For example,
Yes.
when Jim came home, Mary had already watched the film on TV. She watched the film first, Jim came home afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is the past perfect, and we use it to refer to action that happened before a point in the past or before an action in the past. Okay, in this case, I can say when Jim came home, that is the point in the time. Okay, imagine if I have a line, I said that that action came home, and before that Mary had already watched the film. Okay, Mary had watched the film. Okay, that is an action that happened before another action. I can also we can also say, for example, by the time I arrived at the station, that is the easiest one. The train had already left. Okay, the train left before I got to the station. I got at the station. Okay? Well, this is just a short revision about these three topics. And pay attention to these notes. Can you read it, Carla, please?
Yes, teacher. We can use the past simple, past continuous, or past perfect without any difference in meanings with verbs such as think, hope, mean, expect, etc. For things we hope or wished to do but didn't. For example, I expected or was expecting or had expected him to call me, but he didn't.
Okay, thank you. Well, here we can see that when we want to refer to desires or wishes that we had in the past and they didn't come true, we can use the past simple, past continuous, and past perfect without difference in the meaning. Okay, so I can say, I expected him to call me, but he didn't, or I was expecting him to call me, but he didn't, or I had expected him to call me, but he didn't. Okay. For example, with the verb think, hope, mean, and expect. Okay. Remember them. Yes, this is an exception, a really interesting exception. Okay. So let's do some practice. Okay. Put these verbs in brackets into the correct tense. What were you doing at 10 o'clock this morning? Who can answer it? Maria
It could
Jose?
be I was
Okay.
reading. Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was reading some important documents in my office. Okay, yes.
Or
Uh,
sorry, teacher, I have a doubt. It could be also I have been reading or not.
well, this is a suggestion that I want you to pay attention to. Whenever we have a question, we have to pay attention to the tense of it to set the tense of the answer, okay? So, in many cases, not in all of them, the tense of the answer depends on the tense of the question. So if it is in past continuous, the question in this case should be in past continuous, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I
Thank
was
you.
reading some important documents in my office, okay?
Thank
What about number 2? Why are you so disappointed? Let's see. Who wants to try it?
Because I hoped, no, that I would pass the best, but I didn't.
It,
Is
it
there,
is one of the verbs that mentioned before.
remember with hope, think, hope, mean, and expect. It can be in past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. Somebody who say
I
it is
hope
correct. I hope
no, yeah,
it's correct. I can also
no,
say I was hoping
yes,
and I had hoped. Okay?
yes,
So these three possibilities, these three answers are possible. Okay?
okay.
Well, let's go to the other one. Have you found your bag yet?
Have you fine? No,
Not,
I, re I
but I
report
have
it.
reported.
No, but I
Have reported.
had reported. And what about yesterday? There you have the time. So it is a finished and completed action in the past.
Yes,
So
I was reported.
no, reported.
Was reported.
No,
I
only
reported.
reported.
Okay. Only
Past simple.
reported. Past simple.
Remember, you have the time. It is a completed and finished action in the past. So that is the past simple. I reported it's stolen to the police yesterday. Be careful with this sentence, yes, because it says, have you this exchange, yes? Have you found your bag yet? The answer to this question is no. And then you have an explanation. The explanation can be in any tense. Okay? Have you found your bag yet? No. Oh, no, I haven't. But I reported it to the police yesterday. Okay? What about number 4? Did you enjoy the play last night?
Read.
I read good news of it before I bought the tickets. Be careful with that because there you have a point in the past, you have a time, okay, and it means that the action of reading happened before that time. So I bought the ticket, but before buying the tickets, I had read good reviews. Okay, so it is past perfect. No, even though I had read good reviews of it before I bought the tickets. Okay, so I bought the tickets, that is the point in the past, and before that, I had read good reviews. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Have you written your report yet?
I've just started when you came in actually.
I just started when you came in, actually. And what about just? Remember, just is an expression that we used in present perfect tense or in the perfect tenses. So maybe it is past perfect. I had just started. Because,
Teacher,
yes,
but if it doesn't has if this option doesn't have a just, it could be I was starting.
No. Why? Because there you have came in. Came in is the point in the time. Okay, so you came in, and before that, I started, or I had started. Okay, so the idea is you came in the past, and before you came, I had just started. So this is past
Uh,
perfect again. I had just started when you came in. So again, it is past perfect because you have a time in the past, you have an action that sets the time, and before that action, before that point in the past, you had this other action. What about number 6? Sorry, I'm late. Where have you been?
I was expecting.
You an hour ago. Okay. What about this one? Think, hope, mean, and expect can be in past simple, past continuous, and past perfect without any difference in the meaning. Okay, so we can I expected, I was expecting, or I had expected. Okay, these three answers are possible. Yes. What about number 7?
we went to an antique market yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday. Great. You had there the time. It is a completed and finished action in the past. So we went to an antique market yesterday. How do I say compraste algo?
Did you buy
Did
anything?
you buy?
Yes. Did you buy anything? Yes, great. When? Yesterday. So it is past simple too. Were you surprised that the factory closed down? Not really. In fact,
Knew.
I knew. I knew it was going to happen. Okay, I knew it was going to happen. Okay, it is a completed and finished action. What about Julia did well in the test, didn't she?
She studied very hard for it.
Okay, but if you pay attention to the fact that the test took place in the past, that is the point in the past. Okay, so before the test, she had studied very hard for it. She had studied very hard for it. Okay,
Okay.
the test took place in the past, so that is the point in the past. And before that, she had studied very hard for it. Yes, do you get it? Let's go on. Okay, let me see. Okay, put the verbs in brackets into the correct tense. When Simon arrived at the cinema, dozens of people
Cute.
sorry,
Cute.
cute.
We're
It is
queuing outside.
were queuing outside.
Ha,
Were queuing because
queuing.
okay, it is an action in progress. The people were queuing When Simon arrived, it is like an action interrupted by another action, yes? We're queuing outside. They
Sorry, what's the meaning of queue?
hacer, hacer la cola, yes?
Hacer
Ok.
cola.
¿Y cómo se escribe
Well, you
en-
have ing, but you take out the last e, okay?
Ok.
You take out the last e and you add ing, queuing. Many people were queuing outside. They
Wanted to see.
What were they doing at that time?
Teacher, please. Can you back from the slides in the ¿Puede volver a la teoría? Un minuto.
Okay.
I want to catch the slide.
Okay.
Maybe this. Wait a minute, please. Okay, it's ready for me.
Okay. Don't you? No?
No, please. It's okay.
Well, so what were they doing at that time? They were waiting to see the film. Simon, okay? Simon, however,
Had bought.
had bought, yes, had bought a ticket in advance. So by that time, he had already bought the ticket. So had bought a ticket in advance. So what did he do? He walked straight to the front. And yes, maybe can you turn off your micros and then turn on again? Okay, that is better. So he walked straight to the front of the queue, and I'm going to enter. An action followed by another action, okay, in a sequence. Remember that when you have an action followed by another one, it is past simple in both cases. And so he walked straight to the front of the queue and entered the cinema. He felt relieved that he didn't have to queue. Good. He felt that is a completed action in the past. He
Was reaching.
Yes, he was reaching his seat just as the lights
Went down.
for the start of the film. Remember that here we have two actions, one that is interrupted by another one, okay? He was reaching his seat as the light went down. Remember that as is a synonym in this case for when, okay? As the light went down. What about B? Let's see what happened with Casey. Last weekend, Casey
Hired.
Hired a car. Yes, hired and
Drove.
drove to the seaside. Lucas, can you do this one? When she
arrived, or when she had arrived, the wind blew the sky.
when
Blue
she
and
arrived,
okay.
okay, when she
When
arrived,
she arrived, the wind
the wind
was blowing,
was blowing, yes, and the sky
and the sky was cloudy.
Was clouded, okay? Well, we are describing the scenery, yes? The wind was blowing and the sky was cloudy. Great. Let's see, Maria Jose. Maria Jose, Mary Jo. Carla, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
She got out of the car and
Yes.
took a walk along the seafront.
Okay, great. Yes, you have here a list. An action followed by another action. Okay, it is a sequence. Past simple. Got out and took a walk along the seafront. Let's see, Javier.
Sorry, I'm just.
We are in 8, number 8.
Then she decided to go for fish and chips and at a nearby restaurant.
Okay, continue, please. Finish the
Okay,
sentence.
that she saw earlier and liked the look of.
Okay, so here we have, then she decided to go for fish and chips at a nearby restaurant. Okay, good. It continues the sequence, okay? She got out of the car and took a walk along the seafront. Then she decided to go for fish and chips at a nearby restaurant that she had seen, okay? Had seen. Why? Because she saw it before deciding, okay? So the point in the past is that she decided after seeing the place. Okay, she had seen. Okay, past perfect. She had seen earlier and liked the look of. Okay, do you understand the reason why we use the past perfect?
Yes.
Okay, hope so. By the time, let's see, Daniela.
By the time she left the restaurant, it had already grown dark.
Great. Okay. Okay. By the time is a really useful expression that we use to combine the past simple with the past perfect. By the time she left the restaurant, that is the point in the past, it had already grown dark. Okay, had already grown dark. So it had grown dark before she left the restaurant. Let's see, Silvana.
As she was walking to her car, it began to rain.
Yes. As she was walking to her car, it began to rain. Great. Okay. It is an action that is interrupted by another action. Okay. Good. However, Carla,
Yes. However, Katie uh, didn't mind didn't mind
yes, didn't mind.
be,
Finish the sentence.
because she had a wonderful day.
No, she had. Okay. She had.
Uh,
Past perfect. Because she had a wonderful day before it started to rain. Okay.
okay.
Great. Let's continue with
She
some more.
she has she has had.
No, she had. Had is from the past perfect and had is the verb.
Okay.
Choose the correct answer. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, isn't Carlos connected? No?
I think that no.
Okay, because I can't see who's there or not. Let's see. Choose the correct answer. Maria Jose, read the first sentence.
I heard a knock at the front door, so I heard, again. I heard a knock at the front door, so I don't understand this. A knock?
Enoch.
At the front door, so I was going to answer it.
No, went to
Went.
answer it. It is a sequence, okay? An action followed by another action. I heard
Okay.
knock at the door and I went to answer it, okay? A chain of actions, remember that? That is past simple. Let's see the next one, Daniela.
Yes, at this time yesterday, I was writing an essay.
Essay, okay, an essay. Great. At this time yesterday, I was writing an essay. Great. The next one, Lucas.
The football season began a month ago.
A month ago. Well, great. A month ago. There you have the time. Javier, next one.
She graduated from school in 2001.
Yes, great. The next one, Silvana.
We entered the house quietly because everyone was sleeping.
Great. Everyone was sleeping. The next one, Lucas.
By the time we had got to the cinema, the film had already started.
By the time we got to the cinema, okay, we got, and before that, the film had started, okay? So we
Yes.
got. The next one, Maria Jose. Isn't Maria Jose there? Okay, Javier.
But it's the sentence by the time
No, the
or
next one, the children.
the children were playing in the garden while their parents were watching them.
Yes, we're playing, okay? Two simultaneous actions. That is two actions
Yes.
happening at the same time. Thank you. What about the next one, Carla?
They had left many hours before we arrived.
Great, okay, they had left. They left before we arrived. Okay, let's see the next one, yes? Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in brackets in past simple, past continuous, or past perfect simple. Number one, Lucas, let's see.
They got to the airport as the plane was landing.
Great, so one action interrupts the other. They got to the airport as the plane was landing. Number two, Daniela.
She wore the shoes she had bought the previous day.
Great, fantastic. She had both, okay, an action that happened before another action in the past. Number three, Javier.
I fell as I was running for the bus.
Yes, great. I fell as I was running for the bus. An action that is interrupted by another. The next one, Carla.
Um, um, what did she saw when he asked her to marry him?
Okay, remember that after did you need the infinitive, okay? What did she
What did
say
she say?
when he asked her to marry him? Great, thank you. The next one, Silvana.
When I was a student, I didn't have much money.
Yes, I didn't have much money. Great, it is a finished and completed action in the past. 6, Lucas.
Why? Why was she still working at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, great. Why was she still working? Okay, because here we have the exact time in the past. Okay, 1 o'clock in the morning. The next one, Daniela.
The next one, sorry, which number is?
Number 7.
Sorry. I was happy to see her because we we have not seen each other for years.
Yes, great. Had not or hadn't seen each other for years. Okay, good. Thank you. And the last one, Javier.
By the time we got to the shop, a long queue have already formed outside.
Okay, had already
Have,
formed.
sorry,
Had
a long
already.
queue had already.
Okay, form outside. Great. Be careful with by the time, okay? That is an expression that we always use to combine past simple and past perfect. Okay, choose a sentence which is closer in meaning to the original, okay? Well, here we have a sentence and we have then two others and we have to choose the one that has a similar meaning to the first sentence. I had already seen the film, but I decided to watch it again last night. I watched the film last night for the first time. Or last night wasn't the first time that I had seen the film. What do you
B is
think? Which
correct.
one is the
B.
correct B? Okay, B. What about number 2? The boys were playing football while it was raining.
And B.
B again. Yes, the boys were played football in the rain. 3. I was writing an email when our computer broke down. Let's see Silvana.
B.
B. Okay, great. I had started writing an email and then our computer broke down. And what about number 4, Carla? My aunt bought me a lovely gift after she had spent the summer holidays with us.
Mm. Um, A.
Yes, the summer holiday was over and my aunt bought me a lovely gift. Cool. Okay, complete the passage with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Well, but let's wait me a minute. I want to see who's there because I don't know who's there now. Oh, you're back, Maria Jose.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, take some minutes to complete this story, okay? And I'm going to get back in 7 minutes, yes? Ready?
A second, a
Yes.
second.
Let's see. Let's start reading, Javier, please.
Mm.
Maria Jose, please.
Yes, until a few years ago, no one heard of Harry Potter, the young wizard and hero of the children's book Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Okay, what about the rest? Do you have another possibility?
Had
Have
heard.
heard.
Had heard. Okay, had heard. No one had heard of Harry Potter. Good. Continue,
It's
Lucas. Sorry.
no, teacher. ¿Estaba bien o está mal? It's another or it's wrong?
Well, I think it is wrong because you said
Okay.
heard, yes? It is had heard,
Okay.
okay?
I want to know this. Okay.
You want to know why? Well,
No,
remember that,
no, I
no,
know to want this because if we continue to read, we can't, maybe I can't. No.
correct.
Okay.
Okay,
It's okay.
good. Continue, Lucas.
The writer J.K. Rowling had already written several stories and books, but this was the first book that was published.
Great. Had already written, okay? Continue, Carl.
Written.
Written, yes.
The numbers. Okay. No, no.
Carla, sorry.
No, number 2 is had already written.
Yes. And number
Okay.
3?
Got.
She got the idea for the story of wizard and magic while she... Yes. Continue, Carla. She got the idea.
Okay. She got the idea for the story of a wizard at magic school while she was traveling on a train to London.
Okay, great. Traveling. Okay, while she was traveling. Continue, Daniela.
Um, by the time the train reached King's Cross station, she had invented most of the characters.
Great. She had invented most of the characters. Continue, Silvana.
Silvana is gone.
Is okay. Javier, are you there? Maybe he's gone too. Lucas.
Okay. When the book was published in 1997, no one had imagined it would be such a tremendous success. But
Yes,
it,
great. Sorry, continue.
but it quickly became a bestseller.
Great, but it quickly became, yes. No one had imagined. Continue, Maria Jose.
Well, I don't do this, but while millions of young render in many countries um, um, had enjoyed, no, had was
You be careful with while, okay? While. Remember
okay.
that while we use this for two actions that were in progress at the same time. While
Million of younger was enjoying.
we're enjoying,
Wait,
million, we're
okay,
enjoying.
were enjoying her first Harry Potter book.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling thought of idea.
Two actions happening at the same time. Two actions in progress.
Was thinking?
Yes, was thinking of ideas for the next book in this incredibly popular series.
Okay.
Okay.
When it's while, it's
Teacher,
two action in progress?
Not always, because you can
Okay.
have while instead of when, okay? For
Okay.
example, while I was crossing the street, I fell, okay? Or while I was walking home, I saw an accident, okay? But in this case, we have while, and the idea is two actions happening at the very same time. Sorry, Daniela, tell
teacher,
me. Mm-hmm.
but we don't know if J.K. Rowling was thinking or had thought. Si ya las había
No,
pensado o las estaba pensando.
was thinking. Because here, what is important is the use of while, as I was telling Maria Jose. Because while express this idea of two actions happening at the same time.
So
If
when we have while, we should think about two actions in progress.
not always, as I told you before, but because in some cases, while replaces when, okay, to express that an action interrupts the other, okay. But in this case, it means that two actions are happening at the same time. For example, if I had, by the time millions of young readers in many countries enjoyed her first Harry Potter book, J.K. Rowling had thought of ideas for the next book of this incredibly popular series. If I change while by the time, the meaning is totally different. So that is why I want you to pay special attention to the use of while here. Okay? Okay. Well, listen, people, we're going to have classes up to 9:30, okay? So, because then I have to have classes with the other group. Let's go to the book. It is page 40, Battling with Nature, yes? Battling with
Teacher,
Nature.
we don't have classes with Rosario.
No, not today. On tomorrow for the students who are doing speaking, and on Friday with the writing part. Okay? Because I
Okay.
want to go on with the book. Four. For question 2 to 15, choose from the people AD. Some of the people may be chosen more than once. Remember that you have 10 options here, 10 sentences, okay? So you have to read the article on page 41 and do exercise 4, okay? Who wants to start reading the article?
I want to read.
Okay, can you start?
Yes. Battling with nature. For people talk about their stories of survival. Lester Morland was buried in an avalanche in Colorado. There was no warning. It was instant. All of a sudden, I was curled up in a wall. Then it was over and I was buried under about 50 feet of snow. It was totally dark. My mouth was packed with snow and the pressure was enormous. It was hard to breathe and I didn't know which direction was up. I thought I was already dead. Luckily, I had my hands over my face, so I cleared the snow out of my mouth and then I started screaming. I absolutely lost it. I was out of my mind. And then I noticed my tears were running across my face, so I realized I must be lying kind of upside down. Now I felt determined to get out. I dug for 22 hours, and when I finally saw the first little bit of light, I was over the moon, although it was 14 hours before anyone found me.
Sorry, don't you have the last sentence? My misfortune has made me a better person. Trivial things don't worry me anymore. Don't you have that?
No, we don't have
No,
that.
Okay, maybe it is shorter. Continue, Daniela, please.
Okay. Rother was on a boat with the New Zealand Police Search and Rescue Team when he nearly drowned. Um, when we hit the wave, I was thrown against the window, which smashed and let in a tremendous volume of water. There was no air, just pitch darkness, noise, and violent movement. I had no idea the boat had overturned. I felt sad, anxious, and despairing,
I'm lost,
and
so continue.
I okay, and the fear of
Sorry.
drowning,
I felt sad, anxious, and despairing, okay?
despairing. Okay, despairing. Thank you.
Okay.
And the fear of drowning was unbearable. I couldn't hold my breath any longer, and at this point I had a vision of my wife and sons waving me goodbye. I felt at peace. But then I grabbed on stair rail and found myself back in the real world. I managed to pull myself up to the surface and then had to deal with the shock and hypothermia. Trying to stay afloat kept my mind off it, although I had to fight the desire to go to sleep. When the helicopter arrived soon afterwards, I vividly remember feeling disconnected from the people who were there to save me.
Okay. Well, thank you. Continue, Silvana.
She isn't in the class.
Oh, she isn't here. Continue, Maria Jose.
Donate survived tornado in yes.
90.
I what?
90. Joe 90.
90. I heard the warning on the television and had just enough time to lie down and cover my head with my arms. The feel of Twister approaching is like a good train. That low, ever louder howled, howled,
How, yes.
howled, and and the shuddering ground. First, a sheet of rain sprayed against the side of my trailer like machine gun fire. I could hear trees snapping, and the roof began to come off as the trailer started moving up and down. Just as I felt the entire trailer lift off the ground, I lost consciousness and woke up 20 minutes later face down outside. The evening was completely quiet. No wine, no cars, no insect noises. I had gone thought the trailer wall ended up 30 feet up in a tree and then dropped to the ground. I had concussions, a collapsed lung, cracked ribs, and shattered legs. This thing should have killed me, but the surgeons sewed me back together again. It's a lot of vocabulary for me.
Yes, a lot of quite difficult vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay, Carla, can you finish it?
Yes, Max Deering was on the golf course in North Carolina when lightning struck. It happened on a lonely July afternoon while I was playing golf with my friend from work. When I started to drizzle, we decided to get under the shelter. We were standing there teasing each other, and I remember the air had an unusually sweet smell. When the lightning struck, I felt absolutely frozen, but then part of me was boiling hot too. I saw these flashing lights, and there was such an incredible loud noise that I couldn't hear anything for a while. My arms and legs felt heavy. Every bite of my body, including my hair, my eyelash, eyes,
Yes.
lashes, hurt. It was a dull arch and yet too sharp at the same time, like a bad headache and needles being stuck in every part of my body.
Okay, thank you. Well, now please do exercise 4, yes? For question 2 to 15, that is, you have 2 to 10, choose from the people A to D. Some of the people may be chosen more than one, okay? You can take some minutes to do it, okay?
Okay.
Ready, Christian? Yes. Okay, well, that's over today, yes? What is that? Yes. ¿Y las de este mes todavía no las tenés? Sí, te las doy mañana. Dale, dale. Ahí están las dos. Dale. ¿Que me pueden cerrar la puerta de la escuela? Dale. Bye bye. Okay, ready? Or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, take some minutes more.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
I was doing the exercise that we have in our book. We
Yes,
should
yes, yes.
do the okay.
You only have 10 sentences there, yes?
Yes,
Okay, yes.
yes.
You tell me when you're ready, yes? Waiting for.
And this is not the same.
Yes, it isn't.
It isn't. Describe.
Can we check?
Yes.
Let's see. So remember panicking about the situation he was in, that is A. So which person describes his effort to stay awake?
B.
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 B. Okay, where does it say? Where does he include this? Tell me.
He says, trying to stay afloat, keep my mind off it, although I had to fight to decide to go to sleep.
Yes, great. Thank you. What about mentions being in pain all over after the incident?
B.
B again?
I think it's C.
Well, tell me, where does it say so?
Um,
It says I felt sad. In number B, it said I felt sad, anxious, and despairing, and the fair, etc.
For
in
me it's D.
C, say I had concussion, collapsed lung, cracked ribs, and shattered leg.
After the incident. Okay, both options are possible, yes, because the rubric says so. Okay, the people may be chosen more than once. No, 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 sorry, it has to be just one. So let's check
For
it.
me it's D.
It mentions being in pain all over after the incident. I think it is C. Okay, it is
But it
C.
says the people may be chosen more than once. Más de una vez.
Yes,
Ah, okay.
the
And
people.
not two answers the
No two
same as
answers are possible. Yes, I thought that, but then I realized it isn't. Well, I think it is C, yes? C,
Okay.
because it mentions. And what about the next one?
C.
sí.
C.
Okay, assumes he must have been thrown up into the air. And tell me, where is it?
Because it says, just I felt the entire trailer leave on the ground. I lost consciousness and woke up 20 minutes later face down outside. And so he assumes that
He assumes what? He must have been
to
thrown up into the air, but
yes, because he says, I lost consciousness.
I lost consciousness. Well, but what
Maybe
about
because I thought it is because this is a tornado.
a tornado?
Tornado.
I think,
I don't
well,
know.
I think it is the only possibility because in the others, the problems or
Yes.
the events are totally different. That they doesn't have to do with going up in the air. What about the next one? So it is C, yes. Believes that crime helped him to survive. This is easy, yes.
The A.
Hey,
A, okay, A. Where it says,
I started screaming
yes,
and
and then no,
underlined.
my tears were running across my face. Okay. The next one describes the multiple injuries he received.
D,
D.
Is the C.
C. I had a concussion, a collapsed lung, cracked ribs, and shattered leg. What about the
The
next
C.
one? C. Remember to
Remember
lose weight before being rescued.
B.
A.
A,
B. Yes.
A,
A or B? Well,
A.
tell me.
A.
A for
B.
me.
20,
Where does it say in A? Let's see.
At the end of about 14 hours before anyone found me.
Okay. And who said B?
Lucas.
Well,
Yes.
tell me, Lucas, why is it B?
Now I changed my opinion because
Okay.
in the last
It
part of
is
the when the
A.
helicopters and I just remember.
Mentions the temporary deafness he suffered.
D,
Where does it say
B.
so?
E,
D.
Well, why do you say B? Tell me.
because it says I couldn't hear anything for a while.
I couldn't hear anything very well. That's true. Don't you use D in any case? What about the next one?
In number
Uh,
10, I use the
okay. Says he was unable to relate to his rescuers.
D,
What does
B.
it say? Why is it B?
I vividly remember feeling disconnected from the people who were there to save me.
Yes, great. And what about 10? Talks about experiencing being variations in body temperatures.
D.
D,
Why does it say so? Why do you say so?
When the lightning struck, I felt absolutely frozen, but then part of me was boiling hot too. No?
Well,
yes,
it
yes,
is
No?
D,
Mm-hmm.
but you have the answer when it says,
I read.
uh,
I felt
now I have
frozen.
a hard
Yes, but
time, but no.
It's okay.
Well, but I want the
yes,
answer. I
yes,
want the reason.
Akam, when the
Maria Jose
light
told you the answer.
when the lightning struck, I felt absolutely frozen, but then part of me was boiling hot too.
yes.
Indeed.
Well, it is D, but I don't find where. I read it, yes?
I want
Uh,
10. Note. Okay. No?
No, it is D. It is D, but I wanted to know where it was. Okay. Well, people.
But I write you. Right now, Lucas, I reading you.
Why do you say I write you?
I
Don't know.
reading. Yo se lo leí. I read.
I read you.
I read you. No?
Yes, no, that's correct, but I don't find the answer. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, people. Well, this is all for today. Yes. See you on Friday.
Okay.
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 Goodbye.